Hi everyone, it's Colleen Patrick-Goudreau from joyfulvegan.com. Welcome to Vegan POV. Today I want to address the assertion that we have to milk cows for the sake of their health and comfort. If we didn't milk them, so people say, they would get very sick and possibly die. Here is my point of view. Growing up, I was conditioned to believe that cows naturally gave milk. I was never encouraged to make the connection between pregnancy and lactation, that of course cows, like all females, have to be pregnant in order for their mammary glands to produce milk. Never made that connection. Before I made that connection, it was really easy for me to believe that unmilked cows would suffer pain and disease if they didn't have humans intervening to bring them relief. Now, there's a modicum of truth in this claim, but it's a sullied truth because it exists only because of the artificial system we've created. When the udders, in the case of bovids and other ruminants, and the breasts, in the case of human animals, become filled with milk, the natural response is to express the milk, which the offspring takes care of by nursing, or the human mother also takes care of by pumping. But if lactating mammals don't express this milk, perhaps they missed several lactations or their milk ducts are blocked, then the udders, or breasts, become engorged. They may swell, they may throb, all of which makes the udders, or the breasts, very painful and prone to mastitis, which is the inflammation of the mammary gland, a disease that can afflict any mammal, human or non-human. In the case of domesticated animals, it's indeed true that if a lactating cow does not have her milk expressed naturally by her young or artificially by human hands or machines, her udders can become so full that it causes her pain and possibly disease for which she could die if left untreated. Human intervention, i.e. milking the cow, certainly relieves her comfort, but it's not out of kindness that the dairy owner expresses the udders of his cows. It's out of necessity, for his business plan dictates it. A dairy operator impregnates cows in order to take their milk and sell it. He doesn't deserve credit for doing so, he gets paid for doing so. As to why a cow would produce more milk than her udders can hold, of course, consumer groups point to the artificial growth hormones, RBST, or recombinant bovine somatotropin, also known as RBGH, or recombinant bovine growth hormone, which is given to cows to force their bodies to produce several times more milk than they would naturally produce. But of course, it's selective breeding and the size of their udders that has the most influence on the amount of milk a cow produces. When you stand next to a Holstein, the quintessential black and white dairy cow used for most milk production in the United States, and more around the world as we export her genes, wiping out indigenous low production breeds, you can't help but be awestruck by how massive these animals are, weighing up to 1,500 pounds and standing up to 6 feet at the shoulders. Jerseys and Guernseys tend not to be as tall as Holsteins, but they share the same strong legs and bony bodies of all cattle bred for dairy production. It's for this reason that all the males in the dairy industry are killed, with 50% of the births being males, not bred to have the stocky bodies valuable to the beef industry. The dairy industry needed a way to make a profit off of all these unwanted male babies, and so the veal industry stepped up. That's all to say that we're not helping cows by taking their milk. We caused the pregnancies in the first place to make them lactate. It's not magnanimity that compels us to milk cows. It's money. Cows are not cases of charity. They're owned commodities, only useful while they're producing. And yet the entire process is couched in such a way that has us believing that it's out of benevolence for the cow that we take her milk and her babies and her life. Certainly, dairies want to make sure that the cows don't die before they see a return on their investment, and they do factor death into their profit and loss projections. But as they are revenue-driven enterprises, not philanthropic organizations, the practices, policies, and decisions made about the fate of the animals are dictated by profit, not compassion. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you like what you heard today, please give it a thumbs up and perhaps share it with your people, your peeps, and make sure you subscribe to this channel so you'll hear about new videos, and many more are coming. Leave your comments below and support these messages by clicking on the support link below. And of course, visit joyfulvegan.com, where you can find me and lots more information about living healthfully and compassionately. And you can also find me on Facebook and Twitter and G+ and Instagram and many other places around the web. For the animals, this is Colleen Patrick-Goudreau. Thanks for watching.